That breaking news, Orlando City Commissioners have approved the $2 million purchase of the Pulse nightclub site where 49 lives were taken 7 years ago. The mayor says the purchase will ensure that a permanent memorial to the victims is built to the site of the massacre. Tonight we have team coverage with reporter Greg Fox to break down what happened during that vote. We're going to start things off with Western News anchor Michelle Imparato, who has done extensive investigative work on the progress of the Pulse Memorial since the beginning. Michelle.
That's right, Stu. And, you know, some people may have heard that the city wanted to buy the nightclub and thought that was a no-brainer just to have some sort of progress on getting a memorial going. But that certainly wasn't the case. And if there's one thing that I've learned in my extensive investigation is that there are wildly varying opinions on how the memorial process has been handled thus far and what should happen going forward. I will bring you more of what the survivors and the victims' family members said today. But first, Greg Fox is joining us live now with how all of this kind of came together today. And Greg, closing on the property is now set for Friday.
That's right. By the end of the week, Michelle, the city will own this property where the Pulse nightclub was and what is now an interim memorial. So how much will it cost? When will we see a permanent memorial? Those are just a couple of the questions after today's vote.
Mayor Dyer, because this has been horrible. This day's been difficult. But we will do the right thing by everyone.
Orlando City Commissioner Patty Sheehan battled emotions and accusations from some in the crowd who believe she and other city leaders played a role in covering up code violations at the Pulse nightclub prior to June 12, 2016, when a lone gunman savagely ended 49 lives and wounded dozens of others. Did such violations, if they existed, prevent some from escaping? Sheehan tearfully countered, there were no violations, and the process of healing depends on putting a permanent memorial to the victims back on track.
I can tell you right now, the only way that we're going to be able to move forward as a community is to get possession of the property so that we can build a proper memorial, which I have heard from day one from these families.
After previously turning down a $2.25 million offer from the city to buy the property, Barbara Palma and her husband and business partner have agreed to a $2 million price. But Commissioner Jim Gray thought that was too high and wondered if the city had considered using eminent domain to acquire the property.
I'm trying to look at taxpayers as a fiduciary to taxpayers and say, why are we wasting $1 million of your money? That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking. Do I think we have to do this? Absolutely. That is the position that we are in. Do I want to pay the $2 million? No, I don't really want to pay $2 million. I would have rather seen the property donated to us or to One Pulse.
Okay, all in favor of the motion indicate so by saying aye. Aye.
Ultimately, the commissioners supported the purchase and the vote was unanimous. After more than 7 years, this interim memorial will be replaced by a permanent one on the site. Exactly when and at what further cost, we don't know. And we also don't know if that's going to involve any of the current board with One Pulse Foundation or if any of the design plans that have been preliminarily put together will be part of this project going forward. Michelle, I know you've been talking with survivors and victim families along this process.
That's right, Greg, I have. And while some say they're happy to see any progress at all, others say they don't want to see the city pay the Palmas $2 million for that property that they said at one point they would donate to the One Pulse Foundation. Now, Zachary Blair is the president of Victims First, an organization that helps victims of mass shootings across the country. He's been working with dozens of survivors and victims' family members from Pulse over the years. And he says many feel that the Palmas have profited enough off of this tragedy.
Everyone wants a public memorial. We've always wanted a public memorial, but no one wants to see the Palmas make any more money off of this. And I think Commissioner Gray raised a great point about eminent domain. The property's not even worth $2 million, so they're paying more than the property's even worth.
I don't think it matters who gets the money right now. I think what matters is that this is built by the city and we can put this to rest. I mean, we could sit here all day. We have people in this room that continue to preach how the Palmas are profiting on this sale and beg for investigations that have already been done. We've already paid for these investigations.
Now, moving forward, the city will close on this property, as we said on Friday, but there is still the question of what will become of the One Pulse Foundation, since it doesn't appear that they will have a role in the memorial. They promised to build a museum down the street from the nightclub, which Orange County gave them $10 million in tourist development tax dollars to pay for land and design costs. But today it was clear the people close to this tragedy really don't want a museum. They say they want a public memorial to remember and honor their loved ones. Now, you can go to WESH.com to learn more about the push to honor the 49 angels. You can also download the WESH News mobile app to get alerts on the latest updates. Stuart, Summer, back to you in the studio.